Hare Krishna. So I'm very happy to introduce one of the closest friend of mine, quite inspired with me. His name is His Grace Ram Govinda Prabhu, which is a brahmachari in ISKCON Juhu temple. Especially takes care of IYF youth preaching in ISKCON Juhu temple. Especially he preaches in IIT Mumbai. And very wonderfully, I visited twice IIT Mumbai's youth center, which is called a Choice. Very nice, very sincere students. He has, made them devotionally. Very inspiring person. So, Prabhu, we are very thankful to you for coming here. So, in our traditional way, by chanting 3 times Hari Bol, we will welcome you. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Hari Bol. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihara Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihara Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Vihara Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Gopi Jana Krishna, 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 Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, 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 Hare 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 Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam. Jai. Jai. चक्षुर्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कलामयं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरों वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातां सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं त्वं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेव श्रीकृष्णपादा सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामी नामिने नमस्ते सरस्वते दिव्याय गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषशून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश्वर राधाकान्त नमोस्तुते तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी कृष्णवानुस्तुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे। Krishna, we are reading Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, verse number 23. ब्रूहि योगेश्वरे कृष्णो ब्रूहि योगेश्वरे कृष्ण ब्रह्मण्ये ब्रह्मण्ये ब्रूहि योगेश्वर कृष्णो ब्रूहि योगेश्वर कृष्ण ब्रह्मण्ये धर्मवर्मणे मां काष्ठाम् अधुनोपेते कर्महकं शरणं गतः भुवि योगेश्वरे कृष्णो मन्ये धर्मवर्मणि आष्टाम् अधुनोपेते धर्मः कं शरणं गतः ब्रूहि योगेश्वरे कृष्णे मन्ये धर्मवर्मणि स्वां काष्ठाम् अधुनोपेते धर्मः कं शरणं गतः ब्रूहि योगेश्वरे कृष्णे ब्रह्मण्ये धर्मवर्मणि स्वां काष्ठाम् अधुनोपेते धर्मः कं शरणं गतः ब्रूहि योगेश्वरे कृष्णे धर्मवर्मणि स्वां काष्ठाम् अधुनोपेते कं शरणं गतः ब्रूहि योगेश्वरे कृष्णे Brahmanye Dharmavarmani.
Brahmanye Dharmavarmani.
Ashtam Adhinopeke.
Swam Ashtam Adhinopeke.
Atmahakam Sharanam Gataha.
Dharmakam Sharanam Gataha.
Yogeshware Krishne
Yogi Yogeshware Krishne.
Mani Dharmavarmani
Brahmanye Dharmavarmani.
Swam
Swam Ashtam Adhinopeke.
Sharanam Gataha.
Dharmakam Sharanam Gataha.
What word meaning? Bruhi.
Bruhi.
Please tell.
Please tell.
Yoga Ishvara.
Yoga Ishvara.
The Lord of all mystic power.
The Lord of all mystic powers.
Krishna.
Krishna.
Lord Krishna.
Lord Krishna.
Brahmanye.
Brahmanye.
The absolute truth.
The absolute truth.
Dharma.
Dharma.
Religion.
Religion.
Varmani.
Varmani.
Protector.
Protector.
Swam.
Swam.
Home. Ashtam.
Kashtam.
Abode.
Abode.
Adhuna.
Aduna.
Nowadays.
Nowadays.
Pete.
Upete.
Having gone away.
Having gone away.
Dharma.
Dharma.
Religion.
Religion.
Come.
Come.
Unto whom?
Unto
Sharanam.
Sharanam.
Shelter.
Shelter.
Ataha.
Gataha.
Gone.
Gone.
Translation. Since Sri Krishna, the absolute truth, the master of all mystic powers, has departed for his own abode, please tell us to whom the religious principles have now gone for shelter. Purport. Essential religion is the prescribed codes enunciated by personality of Godhead himself. Whenever there is a gross misuse or neglect of the principles of religion, the Supreme Lord appears himself to restore religious principles. He is stated in Bhagavad Gita. Here, the sages of Naimis Sharanya are inquiring about these principles. The reply to this question is given later. The Srimad Bhagavatam is the transcendental sound representation of the personality of Godhead. Thus, it is the full representation of transcendental knowledge and religious principles. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purports of the first canto, first chapter of Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Questions by Sages. In this chapter, the sages ask 6 questions to Sutta Goswami. Before discussing about these 6 questions, what is Purana? We should know there are 18 Puranas are there, and what and we should know what is the importance of this Bhagavad Purana. So actually, in Purana, there are 5 topics. In other Puranas, there are 5 topics are there. Sargascha, Pratisargascha, Vamsho, Manuvarta Ranicha, Vamshani, Charita, Lakshanatu, Panchakam. The Purana, these are the 5 topics. They are Sarga, primary creation, Pratisarga means secondary creation of the universe, and also these are the Sarga category, Pratisarga secondary creation and universe with all the categories. These are the, usually they contains 5 topics, whereas Srimad Bhagavatam contains Dasa Lakshana. Same sloka comes in Srimad Bhagavatam, 2nd canto, 10th chapter, verse number 1. Atra sargo visargasya sthanam purusham bhutaya manvantarishan pada nirodho tirashraya. Sarga means subtle creation. It was done by Lord Vishnu. Visarga, gross creation. It was done by Brahma. Sthanam, law and order ensured by the God. Poshanam, protection. Bhuti means material lust for karmas. Manvantara Katha, the periods of Manus and history of that Manus. Ishanu Katha, accounts of the deeds of the Lord. And Nirodha means physical annihilation, Mukti, liberation, Ashraya. These are the 10 topics that Srimad Bhagavatam contains. Whereas other Puranas, they don't contain all these 10 topics. Only Srimad Bhagavatam, out of 18 Puranas, Srimad Bhagavatam contains this 18 Puranas. That's why Srimad Bhagavatam is also called Mahapurana. And one may ask, why not we read Vedas? Veda, Srimad Bhagavatam, these are all actually the essence of Vedas are given in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. Some of the contents, because Vedas are actually there was one Veda and was divided by into four by Vyasadeva, Vaipayana Vyasadeva. And some of the slokas are not available. Whatever written the whatever is Vedas written by Vyasadeva, it's not available. And even we cannot get access to that. But from Srimad Bhagavatam, we can get easily, we can understand the essence of Vedas. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna. And Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of all Vedas. And whatever some of the slokas are lost, but you will get complete knowledge from Srimad Bhagavatam. In Srimad Bhagavatam, there are 18,000 slokas are there. And even Purana also, they are divided. Some of the Puranas, they are divided for mode of worship, mode of goodness, and mode of ignorance. Padma Purana is for mode of goodness. There are different Puranas, they are divided so that different kinds of people can take from those Puranas and worship. That's why this Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of all Puranas. And whatever the knowledge that is lost in Srimad Bhagavatam, we can get, and in the Vedas we can get it Srimad Bhagavatam. Now will come this verse. Initially, in the Naimisharanya sages, they were performing sacrifice. And when Sutta Goswami came, they asked these 6 questions. What is the highest good for the mankind? And essence of all what is the essence of all scriptures? And what is the purpose of Krishna's appearance? What is his purpose? And next is, please explain how Purusha avataras. And 4th is Leela avataras. And 6th is, after Krishna has disappeared, where did the dharma has taken place? Took shelter. And these are the 6 questions. This sages at Naimisaranya, as they ask these questions. The answers are there in the same Srimad Bhagavatam only. The first, what is the highest good for mankind, that is given in to develop love of God is the highest good for the humankind. And essence of all scriptures is, what is the essence of all scriptures? Devotional service is the essence of all scriptures. And what is the purpose of Krishna's appearance? To reclaim the fallen people, to deliver the fallen people. That is the appearance of Krishna's in this material world. And Purusha Avataras means Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Mahavishnu, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, Shirodaksha Vishnu. About that, it was discussed in first canto, 2nd chapter. And Leela Avataras, that is explained in the first canto, 3rd chapter. And where did religion has taken shelter after Krishna disappeared from this material world? That is where it has taken shelter? Srimad Bhagavatam. After Krishna has disappeared, the religion has taken the shelter in the form of Srimad Bhagavatam. That is given in the first canto, third chapter. We will recite this sloka. Krishne Swadamo, Krishne Swadamo Pagate,
Krishna Swadhamopagayate,
Dharma Jnanadivihi Saha,
Dharmagyanam Vivisaha,
Alo Nashta Diksho Mesha,
Kalo Nishva Nishavesa,
Puranarko Agnodita.
Purana
Here, Krishna Swadami Upagata, when Krishna has went to his abode, Dharma and Jnana, where did it has taken shelter? Kalo in Kali Yuga, then it has taken the form of Puran. It is compared to a sun. Srimad Bhagavatam is compared to a sun. Sometimes Srimad Bhagavatam is compared to like a sun. It is compared, sometimes it is fruit. And here it is comparing the Srimad Bhagavatam like a sun. What is the why it is compared to sun? What happens when sun comes? Darkness, ignorance, darkness disappears. Similarly, when Srimad Bhagavatam will read, the ignorance that is there within our heart, that can be dispelled by this Srimad Bhagavatam. And Srimad Bhagavatam, this we can worship Srimad Bhagavatam just like we worship Krishna. We can also worship Srimad Bhagavatam. That's read this translation of this 1340. We'll read this sloka. Translation, we will read this translation of purport. Then this this Bhagavad Purana is as brilliant as the sun, and it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna and his own abode, accompanied by religion, knowledge, etc. Persons who have lost their vision due to dense darkness of ignorance in the age of Kali shall get light from this Purana. The Lord Sri Krishna has his eternal dham or abode where he eternally enjoys himself with his eternal associates and past. And his eternal abode is a manifestation of his internal energy, whereas the material energy is manifestation of his external energy. When he descends to the material world, he displays himself with all paraphernalia and his internal potency, which is called Atma Maya. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that he descends by his own potency, Atma Maya. Means the difference between Krishna's appearance and our appearance is our coming to this material. There is a lot of change. Krishna comes by his own, and we come by our karma. And we should not think, many people consider Krishna also one of us, but Krishna comes by his Atma Maya, by his own will, free will. His form, name, fame, paraphernalia, abode, etc. are not therefore creations of matter. He descends to reclaim the fallen souls and to re-establish courts of religion, which are directly enacted by him, except for God. No one can establish the principles of religion. Either he or a suitable person empowered by him can dictate the course of religion. Real religion means to know God, our relation with him and our duties in relation with him, and to know ultimately our destination after living this material world. The conditioned souls who are entrapped with material energy hardly know all these principles of life. Most of them are like animals engaged in eating, sleeping, fearing, and making. They are almost engaged in sense enjoyment under the pretension of religiosity, knowledge of salvation. They are still more blind in the present days who are Kali Yuga. In the days of Kali, the population is just a royal edition of the animals. They have nothing to do with the spiritual knowledge or godly religious life. They are so blind that they cannot see anything beyond the needs of the body. They have no information of the spirit sport beyond the jurisdiction of the subtle mind, intelligence, or ego. But they are very much proud of their advancement in knowledge, science, and perspective. Then they can risk their lives to become a dog or a hog just after leaving the present body. But they have completely lost sight of the ultimate aim of life. The personality of God is Sri Krishna appeared before us just a little prior to the beginning of Kali Yuga. And he returned to his eternal home practically at the commencement of Kali Yuga. While he was present, he explained everything by his different activities. He spoke Bhagavad Gita specifically and eradicated all pretentious principles of religious. And prior to his departure from this material world, he empowered Sri Vyasadeva through Narada to complete the message of Srimad Bhagavatam. And thus both Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam are like arch barriers for the blind people of this age. In other words, if men in this age of Kali want to see the real light of life, they must take to these two books only, and their aim of life will be fulfilled. Here, Vyasdev is also called Dvaipayana because he has taken a birth in a Dvipa. He's called Dvaipayana. Just like Krishna is also called Vasudeva. Since he is the son of Vasudeva, he is called Vasudeva. Similar, when Vasudeva he has written Mahabharata and he has written many itihasas. And still, after writing so many scriptures, still he was not satisfied within his heart. And then he was searching why I am not feeling happiness. And then Narada Muni comes and he asks, it seems that you are not happy. Then Vasudeva says that you know the reason you are Trikala. Then he says that Narada Muni says that you have not sufficiently glorified Supreme Personality of God. Then he says, I have written in Mahabharata, I have written, I gave Bhagavad Gita. But says that is you give more importance to other things than devotion service. You emphasize only very little bit. And that is the reason you are not satisfied. Then Vyasdev says that what should I do? Then he informed him, you now glorify, you write a book, another book. And then he started writing Srimad Bhagavatam. In Srimad Bhagavatam, he, after writing many scriptures, and finally he writes Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam contains the pastimes of Lord and his devotees. Like we never see that someone is doing karma kanda and then he continued to do. Every pastime in Srimad Bhagavatam, ultimately at the end of their life, they went back to God. Whatever they did during their lifetime, but they realized their mistake and then finally they went back to God. And after writing Srimad Bhagavatam, then Vyasdev he was happy after writing. That's why this is the essence of all scriptures. Srimad Bhagavatam is the essence of all scriptures. And it is a torchbearer for all blind people of this age. And Srimad Bhagavatam is the summum bonum of life. Lord Sri Krishna person. We must therefore accept Srimad Bhagavatam as the direct representation of Lord Krishna. One who can see Srimad Bhagavatam can see Lord Krishna in person. They are identical. He is telling Srimad Bhagavatam and Krishna are identical. Just like if you want to take darshan of the Lord in the altar, you have to install and you have to prana pratishtha. But Srimad Bhagavatam just you can pursue. And Tulsi Maharani, Srimad Bhagavatam, we can pursue. We need not do. Just we can take. This is like Krishna himself. The way you treat the Srimad Bhagavatam and it also reciprocate the way you treat. And in Srimad Bhagavatam, mainly emphasis was given to devotional aspects And even Adi Shankaracharya cannot, he didn't he has not written commentary on Srimad Bhagavatam. He has written many commentaries in other books, but he didn't touch Srimad Bhagavatam. Because it is the fully it Srimad Bhagavatam emphasizes only bhakti, devotion service to the and by just reading Srimad Bhagavatam, we can perfect our life. Just like Parikshit Maharaj and Sukadeva Goswami. Sukadeva Goswami he spoke Srimad Bhagavatam and he glorified Srimad Bhagavatam and he perfected his life. And Parikshit Maharaj, he just heard Srimad Bhagavatam and he perfected his life. Just by like we 9 principles Shravanam Kirtanam. Sukadeva Goswami he did Kirtanam, he recited Srimad Bhagavatam, and Parikshit Maharaj he heard, he did Shravan and he glorified, he heard this Bhagavatam. Then he was finally delivered. Then what in to give the power of Srimad Bhagavatam, there is an example, a real thing has happened. There was a Gokarna and his brother, he did so many sinful activities and he was killed by his own people and he became a ghost and he is suffering in the ghostly body and he is unable to tolerate the pain that he is undergoing in the ghostly body. And then finally he comes to Gokarna. He is a very learned in scriptures and he requests, please relieve from this miserable condition. Then Gokarna says that he asked other pandits and then finally comes to the conclusion that we should read Srimad Bhagavatam so that he can be delivered. And then finally he started reading Srimad Bhagavatam. And that ghost, he has taken shelter in the bamboo stick. And every day when he was reading one bamboo, hollow, it's bursting. And then after the 7th day, after complete recitation of Srimad Bhagavatam, Gokarna got 400 fountains proceeding to Vaikuntha. And when he was reciting, there were many people who were present. They were also hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. And then they questioned Gokarna. We also heard Srimad Bhagavatam just like the person who got it post paper. Whereas he delivered, then why we have not delivered? Then Gokarna started telling that Gokarna heard with intensity. After hearing, he went up. After hearing, during night time, he was contemplating on Srimad Bhagavatam. And he didn't, heard just like casually. He took it very serious because he is in that, he know the medicine. And then this is the only medicine for my suffering. And he took it very seriously. And finally he delivered from this mental world. What we need is, what is our consciousness when we read Srimad Bhagavatam? And when we hear attentively, and when we read with absorption, then Srimad Bhagavatam will reciprocate. And in whichever situation we are, whenever we are in any condition, we just open Srimad Bhagavatam and then we can read Srimad Bhagavatam. Then, like materially and spiritually, we will progress in Krishna consciousness. And then here in the Vyasudeva and Narada Muni conversation, then he has written Srimad Bhagavatam by the direction of Narada Muni. And then Vyasudeva requests Narada Muni, can you please explain your how you perform devotion service? Then he started telling that in my previous life I was the son of a great servant. And my only shelter is my mother. And there was no other alternative. I have completely depend on my mother. his mother goes to nearby house and brings some grains, and she was cooking for normal boy. And during rainy season, Chaturmas, some saintly people, Bhakti Vedantis, they approached, they were staying nearby the house of Nand. And then he started, his mother used to cook and used to provide prasadam for those Bhakti Vedantis. And he served them. And by serving them and with their permission, he started taking the remnants left by those Bhakti Vedantis. And then he was completely, and then he used to hear discussion of Krishna Katha, what uh, they were discussing about pastimes of Krishna. And then after 4 months, they departed. And then another boy, one day his mother was milking the cow. Then in the evening, and there was a snake, and snake has bitten his mother, and mother left the body. Now, what was the age of Nanda boy? He was 5 years old, very young age. And then he didn't cry, he didn't lament. And what he did? He thought that the only attachment for me is my mother. And the only thatched house that he has, he kept his mother in the house and he burnt the house itself. And he went into forest. Why, from where this strength has come for serving Bhakti Vedantis. And there it mentioned the power of remnants of a pure devotee. And it is also says that it is like a infectious, the association of pure devotee and the whatever remnants that one take from a pure devotee, that they are like infectious, and it also affects the others. Even Prabhupada, when he went to America, there were people, they don't know anything, and they were completely, they don't have any culture. But when Prabhupada started eating from the hands of Prabhupada, cooked by Prabhupada, and they completely transform their life. That is the power of association. When one associates with a pure devotee, there is a complete change in the lifestyle of the person. No matter how much sinful the person may be, but when he comes in the touch of a pure devotee, he will get transformed in his life. And we can see practically in how Prabhupada transformed many people, though they were in peace, and they were, after coming in contact with Prabhupada, they gave up everything. And then, not only that, whatever Prabhupada says that they are ready to do it. There were 1 to 3 couples. They came in touch with Krishna consciousness for a few months. And Prabhupada said that I want both, all of you go to England and preach. And they don't have any money, and there were no, in England, there were no people, known people, there were no contacts in England. But still they went. And after going to England, where they were staying on the streets, and they don't have proper facility to stay. Because they are somewhere that, because by seeing the pure devotion of Prabhupada, and they don't know how to, they know a simple kartal. They know only simple beats playing, and they used to do kirtan. And they were, whatever Prabhupada said, they followed. While leaving, they asked Prabhupada what to do, how to preach in India. Then Prabhupada gave an example of Charlie Chaplin. He was telling that Charlie Chaplin, he was in the park. Some boys, they kept bubbly gum on the bench. And when he sat there, and then when he got up, his coat got torn. And the other boys, they were laughing. And then what he did, he also he formed his entire court and he started dancing. And then other people started like appreciating his dance. He told that simple story and then he sent them. From this, Prabhupada is telling that you should be more enthusiastic when you go to England. And by that enthusiasm, many people get attracted to Krishna consciousness. And then why Prabhupada sent only this kid? Before Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur has sent his most erudite scholars to England, London, to preach. That too, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur used to spend Lakshmi. He used to, from his mud, he used to send them. And he provided ticket, flight ticket. And they could not successful. And Prabhupada sent these ordinary three couples and they reached him. They met Beatles and then finally they became successful. Here, after Prabhupada came to Vrindavan, one of the god brother of Prabhupada, he asked this one of the person, his name is Van Maharaj, who went to England and he was not successful. And he asked, what is the difference between you? You are also learning, and Prabhupada also is learning. And whereas he is successful, but you are not successful, what is the difference? And he could not able to answer. Then he said that because he has the full faith and holy name and truth. And that is the way he could do it. And whereas we didn't have. And Prabhupada went with, he didn't run based on his own skills. He completely depended on Guru and the holy name. And after going in America, so he struggled a lot. Here, what I am mentioning is the association of pure devotee. When one comes in the association of pure devotee, one easily, there is a quick transformation in the life of a person. You can see in the case of Narada, you can see in the case of Prabhupada and his associates. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Do you have any comment or question?
So I have a question. So basically, the main thing is the intensity of the devotion, which matters, and then the contemplation, chintanam after that. It's not like we just come and just do some prayers and go away. But we have to actually do Atma Chintanam.
Nididhyasana, contemplation there. That should be done in the association and group. Like we may like contemplation, but we may not come and write conclusion. Sometimes we may like especially devotionals, especially related to devotion. Like outside, if you want to learn any material or if you want to excel in engineering or any other field, you can do by your own. But whereas devotion is not like that. We can get only by the mercy of a devotees. Then only we can get the right conclusions. Otherwise, by our own, like just by reading, we cannot understand. We may not come to particular conclusion. We need devotees. And when we are in the association devotees, we can know what is right, whether we are in proper right time. Start. Srimad Bhagavatam.